Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome to another video. If you're new to my channel, my name is Maureen Achu. I'm a food, family and lifestyle vlogger. I live in the United Kingdom. I'm a Nigerian. Welcome to today's video. So guys, today's video is going to be about breastfeeding, how to stop your toddler from breastfeeding. So yeah, I have been breastfeeding for the past 1 year and 2 months, and last month, in the month of August, I stopped breastfeeding. And today I want to share with you guys some of the tips that I applied and how it was easy for me to stop breastfeeding successfully. So I hope you enjoy watching, and if you like this video, don't forget to give it a like, don't forget to share to family, to friends, don't forget to hit that red subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and don't forget to send the comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think, let me know how you tried to stop breastfeeding. And yeah, if you have any question in the comment section, I'll be so happy to answer you. And one thing I want to say here, disclaimer, I am not a medical professional, I am not a doctor, I am not even in any place the right person to tell you how to stop your baby from breastfeeding. But everything I'm going to be sharing here is based on my own personal experience, so I hope you enjoy watching. And another thing I also want to put out here is that this video is not in any way condemning any mom out there that was not able to breastfeed her child. It is not in any way against any mom out there. We are all very strong women. Every mom wants the best for her child, and so I just want to say that if you're that mom that you were not able to breastfeed your child based on situations, or based on your own personal choice, this video is not against you. You're strong, you're beautiful, you're a wonderful mom. And yeah guys, let's dive right into this video. So a little background story. I'm a mom of 2. My first child is 4 years and my second child is 1 year and 3 months now. So we stopped breastfeeding at 1 year and 2 months. That was exactly last month. So guys, for my first child, it was super easy because she on her own practically stopped, refused the breast milk at 8 months. I had exclusively breastfed her for 6 months, and when we got to 8 months, I had introduced, I'm Nigerian, so I introduced the Nigerian food, introduced formula, introduced some milk, some cereals. So at 8 months, she decided that she didn't want the breast milk anymore. I kind of panicked because I wasn't ready to stop her from breastfeeding. So the first day she didn't take the breast milk at all. I expressed and put in a bottle. She refused to take it. Once she tests it and finds out that it is breast milk, she practically refused to take it. And so the second day it got so bad that as a mom, I was worried, like, why is she not taking breast milk? So I had to go to the doctor. And when I got to the doctor was like, oh, you just have to try all you can to see that she takes it, and just keep trying. I tried it the third day, it didn't work, she refused it. The fourth day, the same thing, and that was it. I just knew that this was the point that we were going to stop breastfeeding. And she was fine. She was taking her cereals, taking some of the baby food I had introduced her to, and taking some of our native Nigerian food, and she was just perfect. She didn't fall sick, she didn't have any problem at all. So that was it for me, for my first child. So there was nothing like me trying to stop breastfeeding and all that. She practically stopped breastfeeding on her own. And so when I had my second child, I told myself that I was going to breastfeed up till a year. That was the decision I made for myself. It's not because of anything. I know that the World Health Organization advised moms that they can breastfeed up till 2 years, 1 year and 6 months. And also, yeah, in some cultures people breastfeed more than 2 years. I know a lot of children back home in Nigeria a lot of moms back home in Nigeria that breastfeed up till 1 year and 6 months, 1 year and 3 months. But as a mom, I just decided, I made up my mind that I was going to stop at 1 year. Traditionally, back home in Nigeria, there are a lot of ways to stop breastfeeding. Traditionally, there are a lot of ways. I know some women that will use the bitter leaf If you're Nigerian, you will know bitter leaf. I know some women that will use the bitter leaf. They'll kind of wash it, squeeze out the very bitter water, or I don't know. I think they rub it around their breast to, make their child feel uncomfortable when he's sucking and feel the bitter taste and will not want to get to the breast anymore. I know people use bitter leaf, people use a whole lot of things. If you know some of the traditional methods in the comment section, let me know some of those leaves. But for me as a mom, honestly, what I know I tried, because I'm going to be very, very honest here, what I know that as a mom I tried was the lemon. But do you know what, for my son it was not easy to get him to stop breastfeeding with lemon, simply because lemon, ginger, garlic is something I take once in a while, and I take this and I still breastfeed him. So I knew that it was difficult for this guy, my little boy, to stop breastfeeding just because I'm giving him lemon, ginger and garlic. So for me, I honestly knew that lemon wasn't going to work, because lemon is something I take, and then I tried to give it to him, like not to use it on my breast, like to give it to him normally, and he would take it. He will feel the bitter taste initially, and then you will see him coming back to take it. So I just knew that this traditional method was definitely not for me, that it wasn't going to work for this boy, because this boy is already used to lemon. So at 1 year, when I had already made up my mind to stop him from breastfeeding, I tried to stop him from breastfeeding, but honestly it didn't work. It didn't work simply because at that time, at that 1 year, I wasn't in a good place in my life. I wasn't in a good place, like mentally. I wasn't in a good place, simply because I had made a lot of my YouTube videos, about 6 videos that I had lost. So I was not happy at that time. So I think that was part of the things that kind of distracted me. I wasn't really happy with some things, so I knew that trying to stop him from breastfeeding when I'm not mentally okay was not just going to work. So I had to let it go. So at 1 year I wasn't able to stop breastfeeding. So when we got to 1 year and 1 month, I knew I had to start putting some things in place. I had done some research, and you guys, that comes to some of the tips I'm going to be sharing here. So as a mom, if you want to stop breastfeeding, the first thing to do is to make sure that you're mentally and emotionally okay, like you're very well inside, you're well outside, you're comfortable, you're happy. Yeah, that is the best time to start trying to stop breastfeeding. If you're not mentally sound, if you're not emotionally down, honestly, like, you can't do this. If you're stressed, or you have a whole lot of other things, important things to do, I'm telling you, you cannot really achieve it, because that was the same thing for me. I was not emotionally fine when I thought I wanted to stop breastfeeding. So yeah, the first thing is to make sure that you're emotionally okay, you're mentally sound, you're not stressed, you don't have so much on your hand at that time. So your focus now will be on your child, and you're just fine trying to do that. And then the second tip I want to share here is that you honestly don't have to stop breastfeeding at once. You have to start by withdrawing breastfeeding in the mornings. In the mornings, distract him by other things. Get him to sit on his high chair, like what I did. I'm sharing what I did. I got my son to sit on his high chair. Before now, I had started introducing him little by little to finger food. The third thing I want to say here is that it's very good to introduce your child to finger foods. Finger foods distract children a whole lot. They distract them a whole lot. So I had started introducing him to finger foods, and honestly, he was loving it so much. So what I do in the mornings is that I bring out, once I finish feeding him, like those hours that I know I'm not going to breastfeed him, I kind of bring out his finger food, keep it in front of him on his high chair. So I distracted him with the finger food, introduced things like mango. There are a whole lot of finger foods. Oh, there's avocado, potatoes, even cereals. You guys, children love dry cereals. They'll just be picking it from their plate. You can introduce them to cereals, toast bread, steamed vegetables, things that you can find around your kitchen. Chop them into his finger size and put it on him, and honestly it distracts them a whole lot. Another thing that my baby loved so much was, there's this song on TV, Baby Joy Joy Joy. There are lots of songs out there on YouTube that you can actually play for your kid. And so what I do is that during those hours, I just keep him on his high chair and facing the TV, not very close to the TV, you guys. I try to avoid him going close to the TV. I keep him very far away from his TV. If you've been watching my vlogs, you see that sometimes you just know the position. If you're watching my vlogs, you know where I always place him. So I'll place him there and leave him to be enjoying the Baby Joy Joy Joy. And honestly, this boy loves it so much. So all those things, the finger food, the songs on YouTube, this distracts him a whole lot as he's trying to take his finger food. And when I know he's hungry, I don't wait for him to be hungry. I kind of time when I know he's going to be hungry, I'm bringing his food, like I'm bringing his cereals or I'm getting his formula. And then there's this he loves so much, the milk and Milo. Milk and Milo is a chocolate drink. I make sure I get him to drink his milk and Milo. So gradually we were able to just forget about the morning breastfeeding. So I had to take that out. And then secondly, the next thing I did was to get him to stop breastfeeding in the afternoons. And this is not something that I did in days, honestly. It's something that I did like a whole week. So yeah, and the second thing is that I try to kind of remove the afternoon breastfeeding. Normally in the afternoon when it's 4 o'clock, he's coming for the breast, he wants the breast milk. And another thing I did, keeping him on his high chair and making him to focus on the TV or distracting him with other of his playthings, made him to start, because my son is very, very, very clingy. If you've been following my vlogs, you know that this boy wants to be on my body at all times. So I started, stopping him. Not that I don't carry him, I do carry him, but I started trying to make him detached from always being very close to me, always being on my body. I made him to start being a little bit independent, because you guys, this guy is 1 year and as at that time he was 1 year and about 1 month. So we tried all this for like a whole month. I removed the morning breastfeeding, I tried to get the afternoon breastfeeding out, and it worked, honestly. Like, it worked. Another thing I want to say here, that is another tip. Another tip is that as a mom, you have to be firm. You have to be sure that this is what you want to do, because it's hard when you try this today and then tomorrow, out of emotions, you feel like, oh, I need to give him. But honestly, for my son, I know that for some children will literally cry because they want the breast milk back. But for my son, all these distractions made him, he never really cried that he wanted the breast milk. Anytime I feel he wants the breast milk, I'm giving him his cereals or I'm giving him his food, so he never really cried. Now coming to the night feeding, oh my goodness, you guys, night feeding was a bit difficult. Another thing I also did during the night period is that I just know that, okay, in the next 2 hours, because my son feeds like 3 times all through the night till the early hours of the morning, like 6 a.m. in the morning. So what I do is that once I know that it's about time, because I always know it's about time, I know that his first feed is usually between 11:30 to 12 p.m. at midnight, and then his second feed is usually about 2:30 at early hours of the morning. Then his third feed is usually about 5:30 or 6 o'clock at early hours of the morning. So what I do is that once I know it is getting to that time, I was that conscious, because this was something that I knew I didn't want to stop. I wanted to be firm, I wanted to be rigid. I didn't want to start and stop, because honestly my son is one of those boys that love the breast milk. If they say children love breast milk, my son was just one of those child that love the breast milk. So what I usually do is that once it's getting to that time that I know he's going to wake up to want the breast milk, I will quickly get up. I will quickly make his milk and Milo drink, because that is what I give him at night. Milk and Milo. I don't give him like the normal cereal like pap. If you're Nigerian, you understand pap, you understand some of these foods I'm mentioning. I don't give him like the normal like Cerelac at night. I just give him milk and Milo. That is the way I've been doing it. So once he's getting to that time, I know he's about waking up, I'll make his cereal, I'll make his milk and Milo, I'll make his milk and Milo drink, and I'll even wake him up. I'll wake him up and give it to him. So that way I was able to cut out the night breastfeeding. Even though it was hard initially, he would wake up by himself and struggle, try to get me, cry so much, but my husband will hold him. I made my husband to always hold him at night, and then that way we were able to get over the night feeding. And honestly, this is how I stopped breastfeeding. There was no other way. I kind of gave it time. I didn't just stop him from breastfeeding at once. So yeah, this is how I stopped. So I just want to emphasize on the first night. First night wasn't so easy. First night he cried and cried and cried. I have some of those videos in a vlog. I think I'll put it together and post it as a vlog. You guys will see that, because I know I was also vlogging about it. So first night wasn't easy at all. First night he cried and cried, but I was just firm. I tried to be firm. Second night was the same thing. I just made my husband kind of hold him. And then the third night I realized that I had to do more. So what I did, like I had said before, what I did was to make sure that I get his food ready, get him to even have the food before he thinks that it is time for him to wake up, before he's hungry and wakes up. So that way I was able to stop breastfeeding. Another thing I also want to say that also worked for me is that I included some other food that he was not used to at all. Some other food, like I introduced new food to him, like Weetabix. Weetabix is something I have never given him before, but because I wanted to stop breastfeeding, I had to buy Weetabix. Someone told me about Weetabix that her baby liked it, so I had to buy Weetabix. I introduced him to it, and to be honest, like, he really liked it. So I introduced that Weetabix to him. I brought in a lot of other finger foods that he was not used to. So those were really interesting to him. Those were really new things to him. So I think it's important, introduce your child to different kinds of finger food. Let him try new things, and that way it will distract him from the breast milk if you're trying to stop breastfeeding. And yeah, I think that is all that I did. If you have some other tips, please in the comment section and share it. I hope you enjoy watching this video, and please, if you do, don't forget to give this video a like, don't forget to share, don't forget to comment, and don't forget to subscribe if you're new to my channel. Thank you so much, guys, for always watching, always coming through, always being there, always just loving this channel. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.